Hello, you're watching Smart Money. Welcome to it. And today we're catching up with Sumarie Greybe, co-founder of the fully digital insurance platform Naked. Sumarie, great to have you with us today. So Naked has taken the local insurance industry by storm, right? Powered by AI and automation. Again, it's the story of the digital era, a disruptor coming in and taking on the incumbents. Right at the top, what motivated you to rise to the challenge and take on the existing major players?
It's quite interesting. I think I always tell people very often it's being in the right place at the right time. We did quite a lot of work for the incumbent players as my role as a partner at EY, and some of the projects that we did was around how they can get themselves ready for the requirements of the new digital customer. And it very quickly became obvious to us that it is not impossible for them, but it is actually, they almost have to disrupt their existing business model in order to do it. And it's a normal innovator's dilemma. You're making a lot of money with that business model. Do you want to take the risk of disrupting it? And that was the one element of it. So we thought there was something to be done there, and that if you wanted to do it, you had to start from scratch. So not have the legacy that of the existing business model. And the second thing was just around the fact that we felt insurance could do better. And that one of the big reasons why people don't like their insurers or have bad experiences with their insurers is the way they make money. It's this link between the level of claims and the profitability to your shareholders. The less you pay out in claims, the bigger your profits. And linked to the technology business model, we thought insurance would work much better as a subscription model. So you pay a fixed fee to get the service, use our platform, and at the end of the year, if there's any money left over, we give it to causes and communities that people care about. So those two things, the opportunity to actually build a digital insurer, which was quite hard for the existing incumbent players, and also the opportunity to change the way that insurance works so that it actually works better for our customers, were the things that drove us to it.
Yeah, and it makes it more personable as well, right? Look, it was hard not to sit up and take note given your playful and cheeky branding and marketing campaign as well. So why that approach in, what has traditionally been quite a serious industry?
Yeah, I understand why it's a serious industry, because you are expecting someone to be quite serious if they're protecting your valuables or your very big investments that you've made, like your house and your car. But also, insurance is something that is there to uplift communities. And it's actually a really human thing to want to support the people around you. If bad things happen, to actually put things to right. And we thought it was time to make insurance a lot more transparent, a lot more human, and just a lot easier to relate to. And that's where the branding then came from as well.
Yeah. Look, clever ad campaigns, one thing. What are some of the key areas, Sumarie, that Naked Insurance leverages to differentiate itself from the rest of the insurance industry, especially where, others are growing and enhancing their digital interface and offerings as well?
Yeah, so I think the first thing I want to say is the product we offer is a fully comprehensive car insurance and home insurance and single item insurance. There's no difference there. Our cover is as fully comprehensive as any of the incumbent players. Where the difference comes in is how we use technology. Because our system was built from scratch, all in-house, it means that we can actually bring the product to market a lot cheaper. Because one of our big goals is to make insurance more accessible at the lower end of the market, where people do own cars. As you know, 75% of those cars are not insured. And the technology actually allows us to do that a lot more affordably. And then the second thing is just the fact that you don't have to speak to a call center if you don't want to. We do have humans. If you're struggling with the technology, you can reach out to us, but you can also do everything for yourself. We arm you with the information that you need, but then you can do it whenever you like. So if you want to buy at 12 o'clock at night, you can, and no one's going to phone you after that. If you want to change your address, if you want to increase your access, if you want whatever you want to do, you can do it at any time when it suits you, right on the app, including claiming, including calling roadside assistance, all those kind of things. So that makes us very different. And then the third element of it is, like I said, we work like a technology company. So we take a subscription fee and we profit in having lots of people join the platform, stay on the platform, and tell other people about us. So that means our interest is aligned with yours rather than being opposed to yours, because we don't make money from reducing claims. But insurance is volatile. So some years there'll be KwaZulu-Natal floods and there'll be no money left from the premiums that we've charged. But in some years there will be. And if there is less claims than we expected, then that money goes to causes and communities that our customers choose. And that's a naked difference. And we believe that that changes the relationship that we have with our customers. So I think those are the three main things that I would say.
Let's talk about that alignment between, your interests and customer interests, because customer expectations around digital convenience and transparency have changed dramatically as the years have gone on, right? So what are the most significant shifts you're seeing in customer needs, and how exactly are you responding?
So, customer needs in terms of what they want the product to provide them with have not changed. So they want a comprehensive cover. So that's why we make sure we actually have that. However, customers don't want to spend 45 minutes on a phone call to get cover. That's very inconvenient. So people don't necessarily want to speak to another human, especially if you look at digital savvy users. They would rather just be able to do things themselves, make choices for themselves, be provided with sufficient information to be able to make that choice. But that's more the kind of thing that they're looking for. They also want things to be quick. There's very little tolerance for slowness. So it's also very important for us. Our claims process is also digital. And big parts of it's automated. Some of our claims get approved in seconds, and then you can have the money right back into your bank account if there's nothing untowards about the claim. And I think people are looking for that speed. They no longer want to wait. I don't know. The modern consumer is quite impatient in my experience.
Absolutely. Having said that, Sumarie, how do you handle, potentially fraudulent claims? How do you handle things differently on that front when compared to legacy insurers?
Yeah, so insurance, unfortunately, is one of those things that get targeted by syndicates. And you have to manage that. As I always tell our team, it's important for us. We are custodians of our customers' money. And that money that they pay over to us, we must make sure that we pay it on valid claims. Otherwise, what happens is we have to push up our premiums, and good, honest citizens end up paying more. So we do spend a lot of time looking at managing fraud. We do it again through the technology. And we think we have a big advantage because of the fact that our customers transact with us on the technology, and it gives us a lot of data points. So if the technology flags something for us, that claim will then go into a different process. We will do more thorough checking to make sure that it's actually valid, that this customer is who they say they are, because very often it's not even, the person isn't even who they say they are. They've taken our 5 policies with us or whatnot, but we are actually extremely good at picking that up. And what makes it great is it doesn't inconvenience the customers. It doesn't need to inconvenience, because we only do it on customers that specifically get flagged by the technology.
Okay, so how has all of this translated to the kind of growth the company's seen over the past, roughly 6 years? I mean, what kind of growth trajectory has Naked seen, both from a financial perspective and a market share perspective, but also has it been enough to adequately build up those capital buffers to withstand, some of the years that are going to hit harder than others?
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, I think everyone knew that we were underwritten by Hollard. And I think as a small startup, it's really important to have a big, strong balance sheet backing you, because like they said, insurance can be volatile. So we have had that, and that was very useful for us. We also buy reinsurance from the international markets to protect us against big catastrophes if that does happen. The business has grown really well. We're very proud of it. A lot of it has been through word of mouth and super referrers. We also pay our customers for referring other customers. And as a digital company, again, that's really easy because if you share your referral link, we work on a first touch basis. If that person eventually buys from us, you get something back automatically. The system recognizes it and money goes into your bank account. But now, where we are, we've recently raised a significant amount of money to start our own capitalization. And we've moved into something called the Cell Captive now. We are still underwritten by Hollard's special insurance, but we are now in the process of building up that pot of money that will allow us to actually apply for our own license, because that is definitely the journey that we're on. We plan to be one of the biggest personal lines insurers in the country. We are quite ambitious, and so far so good. I think our investors are very happy with the growth they've seen. We are always very glad that we've been lucky enough to actually get the traction that we have been getting in the market. And our loss ratios are looking sustainable, which is also important in a growing business.
Think you're referring there to having kicked the year off securing a 700 million rand in a Series B2 funding round, right? Reflecting that strong vote of confidence that you speak of from both your existing shareholders and new investors as well. What do you think excites investors about the Naked Insurance journey and wanting them to get involved in it?
It's always an interesting question, and I think it's different for different investors. A number of our investors are impact investors. They strongly believe that the technology can actually increase access to insurance because your minimum pricing point is so much lower. Because you use technology to sell, use technology to manage a big portion of the claims process, we can sell a policy for 50 Rand and do so profitably. Whereas the incumbent players have to charge you more than 250 Rand to be profitable. And I think that excites a lot of the impact investors that we've been able to attract. That means we can insure lower end cell phones, we can insure a lot cheaper cars, and that's the kind of thing they want to see. And I think that makes them quite excited about investing in us. And then, of course, for some of the other investors, they believe it is the future of insurance. And that the way that we're doing it is the way that insurance is going to work in future. And they want to get onto the bandwagon with that. So, yeah.
So, Sumarie, as we wrap this conversation up then, what are the key opportunities for innovation that Naked is investigating moving forward? And what role do you believe new generation insurers like Naked will play in reshaping the industry's future?
Well, at Naked, right from the beginning, we knew that things like, machine learning, AI, those kind of things were going to develop. We just never knew exactly where it was going to get to at that point. And I think everyone knows that we've seen these huge, big steps being taken by OpenAI, by Google, with Gemini, etc. And insurance, being mainly a language-based service offering, is ideally suited to take advantage of these kind of things. And us, with our platform, that's a modern platform that was designed and built with automation right from the beginning, we see that there's huge opportunity for us to use this technology to our customers' benefit, to actually help us to reduce price points even further. So that's the stuff we are very, very, very excited about as we move forward. And I think we're going to see the industry change quite a bit as a result of these changes that we are seeing in AI.
Well, Sumarie, it's been a pleasure having chatted to you today. Thanks so much for having joined us on Smart Money. Sumarie Greybe is the co-founder of Naked Insurance.
It was a big pleasure, and it was lovely to be here.